Jeff,
Becca.
are you ready to talk about a movie? Are you ready to talk about one of your favorite movies?
Becca, I'm so ready. I'm so ready to do it.
All right, let's do it.
Okay.
Welcome to the Close Knit Cinema Podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Jeff and I are siblings who love to talk about movies. And on this show, we are taking turns talking about some of our favorite movies. So this being our second episode,
Yes.
one of the things we learned from our first episode is that we probably should be giving a brief summary
Yeah.
of the movie that we are
Yeah.
talking about.
We sort of skipped over that part last time.
Yeah, so just to give people a little more context on the off chance that they don't know the movie that we're talking about.
It's a fair point.
So we will include a summary this episode. So today we are going to be talking about one of Jeff's favorite movies, and that movie is Uncle Buck.
Uncle Buck.
Uncle Buck. Okay, so Uncle Buck stars John Candy and Jean Louisa Kelly. It was released in 1989 and was written and directed by John Hughes.
My man.
Yeah.
There he is.
Jeff loves
John
John Hughes. So we're hitting our first John Hughes movie.
Yep. It won't be the last.
So, to give a brief summary of Uncle Buck, I'm just going to read a summary that we found online because
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I can articulate a good summary of it
It's
on
hard
my
to
own.
it's hard to be concise. It's really hard.
All right. So, when a family emergency forces his brother and sister-in-law to leave town, they reluctantly call on Uncle Buck to babysit their 3 children, a rebellious teenage daughter named Tia, and her 2 younger siblings, Miles and Maisie.
Miles and Maisie. Yep.
Yep. So, Jeff, where does Uncle Buck fall on your list of favorites?
So we talked about this briefly. You have a top 10. I technically have a top 20 right now, and frankly, like, you get down below the top 5, it starts to get a little bit fuzzy. But I will say that Uncle Buck is kind of on the lower end. That's what I would say. I can't give it
Okay.
an exact number, but I can say it's not in my top 5,
Yeah.
but it did make the list that I currently have. So
Okay.
it's a little on the lower end, but still happy that it's in the list. It's great.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the big question then for you, why is this one of your favorite movies?
So I have to be really careful. We talked about this. Like, I don't want to step on other questions that come. So I'm going to try to be as brief as I can be. So this is a movie, best I can remember, and maybe you remember this a little bit too. Like, we had this on VHS growing up. Like, I'm pretty sure I saw it for the first time when I was in my single digit age, and I don't remember if this is a movie that, like, our parents actively sought out getting, that they loved it that much, or if it was gifted to them. I don't remember that, but I do remember that we watched it a good amount. Um, as a kid, there was sort of a novelty to this movie in that, like, I saw it simply as, this is the movie with the kid from Home Alone. Macaulay Culkin's in this movie, and he swears a lot and says some inappropriate things, which that appealed to my sense of humor when I was a very young child. Which is really funny to me that that's like one of its defining characteristics, because I'm pretty sure this was a movie that was featured heavily on the Disney Channel.
Really?
That's what I was told. Like,
I don't.
I had friends who I'm pretty sure were like, oh yeah, this is on the Disney Channel all the time. But
Oh wow.
they must have edited it pretty heavily for that.
That's true. Yeah.
I can't confirm that because we didn't grow up having the Disney Channel. We
Mm-mm.
didn't have that. But like anyway, not a kids movie in my opinion at
No.
all. So like it's weird that they would do that, but anyway, so that's how it started and grew up watching it a lot. It was kind of a common movie for us to watch and we went through the VHS, we had the DVD, I have the Blu-ray, have it digitally. It's been around
Uh,
for a while, but um aside from the fact that I do love the humor in this movie, I love John Hughes's writing style. I like the kind of, I don't know, the spin that he has on it. It's just really good to me, and it's got a great soundtrack, which we'll get into. John Candy was made for this role. Like
mhm.
it's like his defining role in a lot of ways, I think.
Yep.
But on top of that, it's also watching it last night. I was kind of surprised. It's a pretty serious movie, actually. It's
Mhm.
got a lot of you know, pretty heavy subject matter, frankly, and that's like a thing that John Hughes does a really good job of. He creates these comedies that really get actually pretty deep, like beneath
Mhm.
the surface. It's like, oh, there's a lot going on here. Um, and so for me, it's fun because like it does the trope that he has with like Ferris Bueller, where the more important character arc is not even the main character's character arc.
Mm.
Uncle Buck does have one, unlike Ferris Bueller, who doesn't have one, but same kind of thing. Um, but yeah, it's got that going for it where Tia is kind of secretly the important character in the movie, in my opinion.
Mm.
And then on top of that, like as I started getting older, this movie actually had kind of an impact on certain decisions that I've made in my life and the type of adult and type of parent that I want to be, which we'll get into that more. But like all of that combined, this is kind of a go-to comfort movie for me. And yeah, like I think I'll leave it at that, but there's
Okay.
a lot to go into, and there's a lot of for me, there's a lot of depth to this movie, but um, yeah,
Okay.
and so that kind of begs the question. I know this isn't on your list, and
Mhm.
but we grew up in the same household, so you were definitely familiar with this movie at the very least. Um, what are your thoughts? What do you think about this movie?
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't have as elaborate of thoughts.
That's
I mean,
fine.
we'll be diving into it
Yeah.
obviously with our questions, but I was just gonna say, like you pointed out, it's not one of my favorites. I wouldn't
No,
put it in a top
no.
10 or anything, but I do like the movie.
Yeah.
I enjoy watching it. Um, but it's also not one that I would choose to turn on.
Okay.
And I know, like, I mean, we're going to talk about early memories of it and stuff, but like you said, we grew up in the same household and
Hmm.
it was on a lot that I remember. Like, I have a lot of just random memories of it being on.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, that in and of itself, like, I do have some fond memories of just,
Hmm.
yeah, like, it kind of just reminds me of growing up and our family sitting around laughing at this movie. So,
Yeah.
that in and of itself, like, yeah, as I said, fond memories because it takes me back to those times.
Yeah, for sure. And I do think it was definitely a movie that was watched often.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yep. Um, oh, that actually goes into the next question. So, what would you say your earliest memory of watching this movie is?
So I mean, I was able to kind of deduce and remember that like okay, this movie has been a part of our family for a long time, but my most significant like early memory that I can like even put into words, it came actually kind of later in the process. So like I later in life, I should say. I so I'm pretty sure I was a young teenager, so like maybe 13, who knows, maybe a little bit younger. But my memory is so we did a trip to the lake, and we went to the lodge that we always go to as a family. And I remember this particular time, and this was very typical for us. We had our little case of DVDs.
Mhm.
Someone, probably dad or maybe us, we would contribute a bunch of DVDs to this case. And Uncle Buck was one of those movies. And it's like, this is the movie we're going to turn on while we play games at night or
Mhm.
whatever, when we're not out on the lake. And this particular time, I remember we went with our Uncle John and his family were probably there. I'm assuming his family was there, but I remember we had the movie on, and I remember distinctly John giving our parents a little bit of shade, basically saying like, "Geez, this movie's got a lot of swearing in it," kind of thing. "I can't believe you let your kids watch this," and he's like, it's
That's
like
that sounds so familiar.
he's like semi joking, but he's also kind of serious. But like to me as a kid, it was like that didn't really phase me that much.
Yeah.
I feel like there were a lot of movies like that where we were introduced pretty young, and there were other people like Uncle John, but also friends and family, like outside of our immediate,
Yeah.
who kind of were like a little more conservative in what they allowed people in their family to watch. So like, yeah, like, but
Yeah.
it didn't phase me. I was like in my head, I was like, oh, okay, so like, I mean, this isn't bothering me personally, but I guess it bothers other people. But that's my earliest memory of this movie is watching it at the lake and Uncle John calling out my mom and dad about like, gosh, there's a lot of swearing in this movie.
That's funny. Yeah, that sounds familiar to me. And I knew like I know that this is one that we've watched on
Mhm.
vacations,
Yeah.
but I don't have like an exact memory, which I honestly don't have a specific memory at all of watching this movie. Just a lot of vague
Yeah.
recollections of it being on and people laughing at certain jokes in the movie. Um, I do remember watching it like in the family room of
Mhm.
our childhood home
Yeah,
with
yeah.
at least Jessica and Will and mom and dad. And I remember all of them laughing. Um,
I
I I can just say like I know I was elementary school aged. I was
Sure,
very
sure.
young, so
It's weird because like, I don't again, not specifics, but, like, I think me and my friends would watch this movie.
really.
Like, I vaguely remember, like I remember people like David or I mean, I just remember people coming over and like we would like we should watch a movie and Uncle Buck was one that we would choose and we would be very entertained by it.
Mm,
So I vaguely remember that, but again, just not enough detail for it to be interesting.
yeah. Okay. So you hinted at this one a little bit, but what do you think Uncle Buck is trying to say?
Oh
Not the
man.
person, the movie.
Okay.
What do you personally take away from it?
So I'll break this into three things in particular because and if I'm not careful, I will just be scatterbrained about this. But like there's kind of three things. First of all, the movie I think expresses the importance of long-term family relationships, and that includes like the parent-child relationship as well as husband-wife relationship and boyfriend-girlfriend relationship. It
Mhm.
emphasizes that. Um, and the way that it does that, there's this interesting part where I mean, so one of the big things about this movie is that Buck is kind of painted as this like low life individual who he chose not to do the more professional conservative approach to his life. He's not married, he doesn't have kids, he doesn't have like a legit job. He makes all his money gambling apparently,
Mhm.
which I have some questions about that, um but he has this moment where he's kind of a little bit down on himself and he talks about how like his friends used to be like, "Oh, Buck, we're so jealous of you and the lifestyle you have. You don't have to worry about, your wife, you don't have to worry about kids, you don't have to worry about your job." And then he's like, "But now I've gotten to a point in my life where nobody says that anymore."
Yep.
And he's
Yep.
realizing, "Okay, those things are important that I've
Yep.
put off." And that goes into his arc. That's like his arc is realizing that he needs to shape up.
Mhm.
Which brings me to my other thing that I think it's trying to say is that sometimes people just need new challenges and opportunities to sort of like help them realize their own potential as a person. It's
Mm.
like the thing that pushes Buck to realize that he can be a father and a husband is he just sort of randomly gets put in this position of like trying to help out his brother and his sister-in-law and watch their kids.
Yeah.
And then over the course of doing that, he realizes he can actually be a parent. and he has a lot of qualities, surprisingly, that maybe are lacking in these children's lives from their own parents. We don't get a ton of visibility into what the parents are like, but you
Right.
get some hints.
Mhm.
And then that's the last piece, is the idea that this movie, as I got older, really helped me realize the kind of importance of parenting. And this is probably going to be a theme that comes up a lot for me, but like Tia. Okay, so Tia, let's talk about Tia for just a second. It's really easy up front to just think of Tia as just this very bratty teenage girl
Mhm.
who's just vicious and does all these terrible things.
Yes.
But I think if you take a step back and you think about her situation, she's kind of been through some stuff, and she's also at that very delicate age.
Yeah.
But it's like her parents basically forced her to move from her childhood home, is how I'm taking it. Like,
Yeah, and
she
all
was
her
a
friends.
teenager and had to move away from her life that she built up.
Yep, at age 15.
And
Yeah.
that's a hard age to just let go of all of that. So there's
Yeah.
that. And obviously there's like problems with her relationship with her mom specifically, and they kind of hint at this idea that like her parents are both very career driven,
Mm.
and they even hint at the possibility that that has made them kind of less involved in their children's lives.
Mm.
She mentions that her parents don't know her personal life,
Yeah.
and that might be because she's pushing them away, but it also could be that they're just too busy to care.
Right.
And she throws jabs at her mom for being a more career driven mom,
Mhm.
like with her not making dinner and all that stuff, and she
Yeah.
teases her about it. And
Yep.
then she has that line, I'm really tired of your ugliness, which is like, oof, it's pretty rough.
Such
Um,
strong tension
but
there.
but you see some of the things that are happening there, and like that's like something that I took to heart. Like I have me and Sarah have talked about this. We fully expect to like live in the same house the entire duration of our children's
Mhm.
lives. We don't want to move. And
Yeah.
this movie influenced that opinion for me. But then you get Buck, and like some of the things that he does, like one of my favorite moments in the movie is when Buck like takes Tia home after she finds out that her boyfriend
Mhm.
is just cheating on her and he's a, terrible person or whatever.
Yeah.
He shows so much restraint in that moment when he could have been like, "I told you so" kind of thing.
Right.
He shows so much restraint, and it's like it's this big moment where I'm sure he's realizing, "Oh wow, like I can do this." Like
Mm.
it's a parenting thing, but it's like I kind of need a reminder of that I need to show restraint probably.
Yeah.
And I just love that moment, and he gets super vulnerable instead. He starts talking about his life and how he's made mistakes, to make it so that they
Yeah.
can relate a little bit more. But like all of that, like I don't know so it's like as a parent, I see that like where it's like I need to show restraint. I need to not be so consumed by my job that I'm not a part of my children's life.
Yeah. No, that's a really good takeaway. And I picked up on that. That's kind of the main takeaway message for me. I mean,
Yeah,
it falls into that is the broader topic of the importance of family
yeah,
and not missing out on
hmm,
your family and your kids' lives and yeah, just being involved and interested
yeah,
specifically from the parents' point of view like yeah, being interested in your kids' lives because of that comment that Tia makes that you already pointed out, where she's like,
hmm.
my parents don't know anything about my personal life.
And again, you can interpret that a couple of ways,
You
but like
can, but
I
yeah,
think some of it is that her parents are so dang busy, and you don't
right.
really understand why. It's like, are they both working all the time? You don't really know for
Yeah, you don't
sure.
know much about them.
The mom is, at least, I'm pretty sure. But
Hmm.
anyway, I don't know about the dad, but it's like, are they dual income parents? Like, are
Yeah,
they
I
really
don't know.
financially struggling?
It's true. They don't really give you much to know, like, why
Was it a
the
greedy move for them to like? Because she says it was about money. Tia says that it was like so they weren't making enough cash, and that's why they
yeah.
moved.
Yeah, and I took that as like, oh, like they moved because they wanted to live in this big house. Like I don't It was
She
yeah,
says it's a money thing, and it's
right,
like, okay, if they're both working, it's like, are their jobs that bad that they needed to move to make
right.
more? I don't know. It's very
It is
interesting.
interesting. I also like on a smaller takeaway note that you didn't mention, so I will mention it
Okay.
because it's like a very like on the nose thing, which I don't think is the main takeaway, but like just a piece that you can take away
Yeah.
is like to not judge like the classic don't judge a book by its cover kind of a thing.
Yeah.
I don't think it gets that deep into it, but there is a little bit of like the setup of these parents really judging this buck, right?
More so the mom, I
Yeah,
think.
the
Like
mom
the brother,
especially,
his
yeah.
brother is like trying to defend him, I
That
think.
is
But
true.
like, I'm like, what the heck is wrong with the like, what did he do?
I know.
I mean,
She
okay,
folded their wedding
I,
picture to cut him out. I told Kyle, I was like,
that's
nobody would do that.
that's rough. Like,
Like,
why does she
no.
hate him so much?
Like,
Like, did he like? What did he do to her? What did he do?
right? We don't have that history. It's just, oh, she really, really
Is it?
doesn't like him and she folded his
Is she
picture,
just like a rich snobby person? Is that what it is?
which is,
And he's like, is she that conservative that his life? I mean, granted, it's like he's cheating on horse races, which is
yes.
like that's not great,
No, they
right?
definitely portray him as a pretty, like, not great dude. Not responsible, gambling, bad health habits, but, like,
Yeah, yeah,
they don't give us anything for the mother for us to know, like,
I
what is
know.
going on there because they don't
I
make her unlikable, I don't think. I don't get a vibe that she's a bad
I
person.
don't know. The more I watch it, I feel like she's a bit. I think she has some problems. I think she has some problems. Like I start to kind of think that like okay, she has some work that she needs to do too.
Oh, well, yeah, I'm sure, like,
Like
maybe with being better and present for her kids or something, but I don't
I mean, why does she go out of her way to lie to Buck when she says that it makes me feel very secure that you're there? Why would she say that?
to make him feel better, I don't
Is that what it is?
that's
Like
how
she's
I
just trying
take
to make
it.
him feel better?
That she's trying
I,
to hide the fact that
that
she's
she's worried?
insecure and worried.
I didn't for me it was just like that's a weird thing to say when you clearly don't mean it. Like
Interesting.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Like
I
I
didn't
was
take
like
it that way.
why is
I
I don't
took
know.
it as, like, she's having an emotional, like, "Holy crap, my kids are in, like, sketchy hands right now, but I need to be cool and let him know, like"
It's like she didn't have to say anything and it would have been fine. She could have just said, "Thank you, bye-bye."
Yeah,
I don't know. I just thought it was weird that she had to go
yeah,
out of her way to lie about that, but whatever.
that's fair. Do you like how this movie ends?
um, yeah, I overall I do actually really like it. It is very much on the cheesy side, admittedly.
Mhm.
Um, you could argue that like Tia's change is a little bit drastic. Like it feels like almost unearned.
Yeah.
But the more I watched it, I was like, they do sprinkle some moments where her and Buck kind of bond a little bit, like in the bowling scene. Like they have a little bit of a moment where they start to respect each other a little bit. So like they hinted at that, and that made me feel like okay, so like
Yeah.
that relationship did grow in certain moments, even though she was kind of awful to him. But um, the only thing that I would say, like, I find it very heartwarming that her and her mom, he basically, I think, tells her like she needs to figure things out, right? And so she does it. They have that cute moment where they hug, but I do like that the mom, she acknowledges, like, she says things are going to be different, which I
Right.
think is her saying, I'm going to try and be better.
Yeah.
It's not just you, I'm going to try and be better too.
Funny enough though, I that line kinda hit me. I don't know why. It hit me like her just saying things are gonna be better. While it is sweet, the way I took that was like, "Oh, now that you've put your wall down, things are gonna be better. Like, now that you're
Interesting.
being open with me,
I
we
mean,
can have a better relationship."
I think
But
that's
I can take it that yeah, she has something to do as well. But when I watched it, it more felt like, oh, my daughter's finally like
that's interesting.
letting
Yeah.
it go, and
I mean, there's probably that's part of it. I think that's she's like, okay, you're making an effort. I'm going to acknowledge that I need to make an effort too,
yeah,
because she's like, obviously something's happened and we need to talk,
yeah.
and she's being vulnerable. The other thing that I would say though is like, I love that about the movie. Um, I One thing that has always bugged me a little bit is that they hint at this. Well, they don't hint at it; they straight up say it. But they talk about how like, and this goes to like the kids moving and stuff. Like Miles specifically, they point out that like he seems to be struggling socially at school.
Mhm.
Like he mentions being bullied.
Yeah.
Um, I felt like they made a big enough deal about that at the beginning. I thought that they would find a way to resolve that somehow, but they never do.
That's true.
They just like they bring it up and then like you think maybe Buck would find a way to help him figure that out, but he never does.
And there is only like that one scene, isn't there, where he's like, "Oh, I ran away from some bullies."
Yeah, they bring
Isn't
that
that
up.
it?
Well,
Like,
they have the brief moment at the school that's just kind of played for laughs where he's like disturbed by the lunch that Buck packed in.
oh, right.
But I mean, he's at least not sitting alone. So I don't know.
Yeah, that's
Like, there's kind of this weird
interesting.
thing, and then Maisie. That was the other thing is like Maisie is just like almost non-existent after the first 20
Mhm.
minutes of the movie. Like she is there and she is the one that he has to defend to the
At the
principal.
school, which is interesting because you don't get much of her as a character for them to
Yeah.
be like, "She's a
She's
troublemaker and terrible."
she takes kind of a back seat to the movie
Yeah.
actually, like pretty heavily, which but anyway, that's my one thing is it felt like they hinted at this idea of Miles having a problem with bullies and such, and then that didn't really go anywhere.
Okay.
So that's my one thing. But what about you?
Yeah, I like how it ends. I put in my notes that I like that the angsty teen gets over her mood.
The angsty teen gets over her mood.
Yeah, that's how I wanted to describe that. But really, like, it's funny that you say that your instinct is to think that she's just this terrible behaved teenager
Yeah.
because that is how I felt. Like, I can understand, yes, she is a teenager and like those strong emotions and walls with her parents make sense to me. But
Well,
oh my gosh, she drives me insane. Like, she's such a horrible person. And I guess,
they really paint her as like the antagonist of the
yeah,
movie, basically.
yeah. And I guess, like, maybe being a mother now, like, I can't imagine
Oof.
my daughter talking to
Oof.
me the way that she does. Like, I feel for that mom, which is why it's interesting, like, where you're like, there's something about the parents, like, not being great parents,
They're just not
because I'm
yeah.
kind of like sitting here, what did the parent do? What did she do to deserve this? Like, that's
They
terrible.
plucked her from her childhood home. I'm okay, like I can fully admit that like one that is one of the we'll get it like that's one of the problems with this movie is that she is almost unredeemable with
Yeah.
some of the things she does. But again, like they and I forgot to mention this. Like one of the things with her though is like they do show her kind of like it's like she's trying to latch on to something positive in her life with her boyfriend,
Mhm.
but they have that moment where you kind of see her getting pressured by him
Yeah.
to be more intimate, and like she's very conflicted about that, and you can see it, and it's like
Mhm.
she wants it to be this positive thing, but she's already kind of seeing the hints that Buck is probably right.
Yeah.
And so they show that, they show her as a real person in that moment, and that's way before anything happens where she really, breaks down. But anyway,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm glad that she resolves her problems with her mother and like her uncle. I The one note I put is like I feel like the resolution between her and her mom was a little more brushed over. Like, it's very quick,
Yeah.
but at the same time, I don't think they could have done more. Like, I almost feel like there needed to be a conversation because, like, you get really good conversations between her and Buck with that resolution there.
Yeah.
But then with the mom, it's just like no words, hug, it's gonna be better now. And I'm like, it kind of feels like they needed to have a conversation, but I also can't picture it in the movie.
Sometimes less is more, and
Yes.
it's like anything that they could put on screen would just take away from that moment. It's like it's kind of like the movie August Rush a little bit, where it's like there's literally like 2 seconds of the family being reconciled, and it's like right at the end of his big symphony or whatever, and then the movie ends.
Yeah,
So you
I
don't you don't
forgot
get
about
like
that.
you don't get like a you don't get a moment where they're all together chatting and having a good time, because it's just like they want it to end on this peak moment of
Yep.
like it feels a little bit like that.
Yes. And I was gonna point out, is that not just like a Home Alone shot?
Yep, it is.
I was like, oh my gosh, like this is the exact framing of the
I
Home Alone scene with his mother coming home. It's her mother coming home and they hug, and it's like the similar
I
house.
mean, it has a lot of the same beats, and it's funny because John Candy's in Home Alone,
Yep.
and it's not directed by John Hughes, but it
I
was
was just
written by
trying to
John
check
Hughes.
that if he directed
It's
or
Chris
wrote it.
Columbus.
Okay.
Chris Columbus, but I
That
mean,
is interesting.
John Hughes wrote it. So it's like you wonder, like, did John Hughes have say in how that was shot? I
Did
mean,
he like give him some
I mean,
tips?
I think it has the same vibe. I think the shots are different enough personally, but like it has the same vibe.
Yeah, I hadn't thought of that. I don't think I realized that as a child, but watching
No,
it
yeah.
now, it was like,
Yep.
that's Home Alone,
That's a John
like
Hughes
100%.
trope. Yeah, and he has some things that he does in all of his movies that are like, oh yeah.
Yeah.
He always has like these like very arbitrary motifs that just keep popping up that are so random, but I kind of find them hilarious.
Mhm.
Like Buck makes random comments about his hat.
That is so funny. I loved the hat comments because yes, it's so random,
A lot of
but like
people
it's played off so well. Like the setup, the fact that he says, what does he say? Like
a
a
lot of
lot of,
people hate this
yeah,
hat.
a lot of
It
people hate
angers a
it.
lot of people, just the sight of it.
Yes, there's that. And then to have that random couple in the
Yeah.
car be like, don't go in there with that hat.
Well,
They'll kill you.
the funny thing is it's a different hat.
No, really?
He's wearing a different hat. He's got like the full on
Oh,
like what do they call those? They're like the Russian hats
uh,
with the kind of fur on the inside. That's what he's wearing when he says it to like Miles and
yeah.
Maisie.
I thought he was wearing that and
No, it's just like a more typical like what do you call that type of
monster
hat?
hat.
Yeah, like he's just wearing.
No, but see, I'm gonna have to go back and watch that then because I swore, and maybe my brain just thought it was the fuzzy Russian hat because of the previous comment, but I swore he was wearing that, and
Maybe.
because they said don't go in with it, he changed it.
maybe
I That's how
maybe
I
that's what
took
it
it.
was.
I thought he put a different hat
I You
on.
might be right. I need to go check that too because it is so funny that he throws random stuff like that. But like in Home Alone, it was the statue that just keeps getting hit by cars in their front yard.
Yes.
Like
Yep.
they do it like 3 or 4 times. So
Mhm.
like people keep running into this statue. It's like it's so random and ridiculous, but I love
Oh man. Okay. So moving on.
that.
Who is your favorite and least favorite character in the movie
So
or performance?
this is probably going to be a pretty brief
Yep.
one for me. Like it's really hard to beat John Candy as Buck.
Yep.
There's not like another character that I'm
Yep.
like, oh my gosh, this character had like totally, like killed it in the brief moment or whatever. It's just like John Candy's great in
Yep.
this movie.
Yeah, I also said John Candy because like there is no one else that would top his performance and his character.
Did you look at IMDb about that? I was kind of
About who would play him, yes.
it like threw out every actor ever, which is kind of like
Oh wait, no, maybe I didn't then. I just saw that
it like had like 4 different sections, and one of them listed like 4 actors, and then another one listed one, and it was like
interesting.
every actor who was big at the time they like considered, and I'm like, but
Okay.
to that point though, it's like no one else could have done it.
No. I mean, the only one I saw was John Goodman,
Yeah,
and I could see that. It would not have been the
it,
same,
that's like the closest probably, but
but he could have done it.
I swear one of them listed like Tom Cruise. or
No,
Jim
yeah.
Carrey, and I was like, no, like
No.
that's a totally different, less good movie. Um,
But yeah, John Candy, like, he pulls off the comedic moments, and
yeah,
there's so many lines where I'm like, only he could pull that line off.
it feels like it. Yeah,
But he also does amazing on the serious,
he can be very sincere,
like,
very
he
yeah.
does the emotional moments really, really well too.
Yeah, it's funny we talked about this already, but, like, it's weird that trailer just dropped
Yeah.
for a John Candy documentary that's coming out
Mhm.
on Amazon Prime, like, next month, so
Yeah.
that's timely. We
Yep.
didn't plan
It's a
that,
very strange
but
coincidence.
we lost him too soon, obviously. It's really sad. I
Mhm.
think he was, like, 40 or something, like, he was really young.
Yeah.
Like, he was in his 40s or something, but
Really, really young.
as far as least character, I don't know if we're gonna see the eye to eye on this or not.
Mm.
I It's on purpose. It's on purpose for the sake of the movie. So I can't like fault them for this, but the neighbor
That's mine too.
Marcy is just like,
Yes.
what is this woman's deal?
Yes.
She's just like walking into the house and like just like being very for I mean the whole joke with her is that apparently she just like goes through men
Yeah,
constantly,
there's just, like, that one comment, though, that,
but
like,
she's
she's
got
been
like the
remarried and
hyphen.
has an hyphen, so, yeah, you think, "Okay." She's kind of like
She's just like she's working her way through men,
yeah,
but I'm just like,
that's
what the
so
heck?
funny.
She is something else though.
The funny thing about it, I could be remembering wrong, but I wanna say I thought she was funny when I was a child.
Yeah, yeah.
But now I was like, "What is
I'm
going on with this woman?" And the same exact thoughts, like, why does she keep walking into their home?
she's
And
she's supposedly like friends with the mom, but the
but
mom's
the
also
mom was
like
like, "I won't let her watch my kids, like, there's no way." But then she's close enough that she's coming over without
yeah,
knocking
yeah,
and, like, just randomly wants to
yeah.
hit on Buck, this complete stranger, like
Something else. She's something else.
yeah, I don't
So
like
we're in
that.
agreement on that one
That's so
then.
funny.
So
Yeah.
I wanted to give like a mention to the principal.
Oh,
She kind of deserved it, honestly.
deserved what?
She deserved Buck like totally like calling
Oh,
her out
yeah, I
hard.
thought you were saying, like, she deserves to be the
Like the
worst or
things
the
she
best.
was saying about how old is Maisie supposed to
6?
be? I'm like, come on. What kind of
Yeah.
principal are
It's
you?
like there's no way that a woman like that could last in a position like that, just being stone
So
cold.
I'm 100% with Buck on this one.
Yeah.
I'm just like, and it makes you again. It goes back to like, how would the parents have responded in that situation? Would they have like,
I think they would've just, like, taken it and sucked
"Mi-
it up and been like,
we
"Okay,
need
we'll
to,
talk to her,"
yeah,
and yeah, that's
again, that's one of those things where like they subvert the expectation and Buck actually has some decent qualities. He
yeah.
maybe went a little over the top with the mole
Yeah,
and
that's what I was gonna say.
it's
While
so
she does kind of deserve it because she's
but the fact that he
saying
calls
terrible
out
things, you can tell that she's, like,
she's
actually hurt by
yeah,
that.
he hurt her
And
bad.
you like, that makes her look like, oh, she's an actual person with feelings even though she was just acting like a
Yeah.
Nazi or
Oh
something.
my gosh. It's anyway, I just needed to mention her. Marcy's still my pick, but like
Yeah,
I just wrote down the principal kind of deserved it.
and I think this is kind of just random, but isn't Marcy I closed my page. Isn't she in the show Roseanne with John Goodman?
I don't know.
Think she
I didn't really recognize anything when I looked at her,
is.
but um yeah, she wasn't anything that I was like super familiar with, but it might have mentioned that.
Yeah, yeah, it is her.
Okay.
I've always thought she was pretty funny as an actress. So
Yeah.
that's so strange to me where I'm like
She plays it
and
pretty
again,
like
it's not like to say she did a bad job.
she's playing the part.
Yeah.
Like she's playing what's on the page.
That's what was written and it was over the top and uncomfortable and
And
just
she nailed it.
yeah. Yeah.
So I guess props to her, but also goodness, you wrote a terrible
Terrible
character,
character.
John Hughes.
Yes.
Yeah, someone who
Yes.
just really makes you cringe. But
Yes.
anyway,
Okay, Jeff. Um, so what is your favorite scene in this movie?
so before I give my favorite scene, I do want to give a shout out. I already did, but like I do really love the scene where him and Tia finally talk
Mm-hmm.
after. I think that scene's done. I just think it's done very well, and it's also funny. Like I like how he helps her get revenge. It's
Yes.
so over the top and
It
ridiculous,
is very over the top.
but it makes me laugh. It's great. No, my favorite scene's the hatchet scene. That scene's incredible.
Yeah.
Like, for those who don't know, it's basically like he shows up and his whole thing is like he continues to try and freak out her boyfriend Bug. His
Mm-hmm.
name is Bug. Um, he's constantly trying to freak him out and get him on edge because he just immediately does not trust him, and like, and this whole scene is just him like
Messing with him.
messing with him, starts talking about hatchets and how, he uses it on people that are, preying on loved ones and that kind of thing, and then starts talking about cutting things off, and she's
Shave a
like,
little off the kneecap.
yeah, shave a little off the old kneecap. I've been known to circumcise a gnat. You're not a
Nat.
gnat, are you, Bug? Wait a
Nat.
minute, gnat?
Bug.
It's just everything you. And then like he walks away, and Tia's just like, he's all talk. You really don't need to worry. But then he immediately is back at his car, and he has it in his
Yeah.
hand. He
Come here.
literally
I
has
want to show it to you.
it. It's incredible. It's definitely like the peak of the movie. It's so
Yeah.
good.
That's so funny because I had that listed as my favorite as well. I had two,
Yeah.
and I had the hatchet scene because I think that is like probably the funniest scene in my opinion, or just well written. Um, but the other scene, which actually is probably more than a scene, uh, just to mention something different, I really enjoy the sequence of him going to the elementary school. That
Yeah.
whole thing,
Yep.
because like just there's just something funny about watching him, this huge guy,
Yep.
walking through a tiny
Yep.
school and using a tiny bathroom, and he's so out of place, and it's like this great comedy where he's like not even talking for the first like 5 minutes or so. I don't know how long, but like you're just watching him, and it's just funny because of what
It's
it
yep.
is.
Yep.
He's having to use that small urinal. He's got a cigar in the school and realizes, oh
Oh
crap, I
shoot.
shouldn't have a cigar, and there's nowhere to put it out because all the stalls are full. And then that conversation with the principal, and how he's like buttering up, or not buttering up, talking to the other kid out in the
Yep.
hall.
Yep.
Just
Trying to make
that
him feel
tiny
better.
thing. But then like all that comedic stuff then turns with him like giving that serious conversation, semi-serious, of standing up for Maisie,
Yeah. Yeah.
which I like. So it was like, oh, there's all this funny stuff, but he's actually making a really good point
Yeah.
here
Yeah.
of like, you're talking about a 6-year-old, and like
Yep.
that is delivered really well. So I enjoy all of that.
But then they also have the moment where it's like they show her like interspliced during that scene. They show Maisie like
That's right.
she swears in class. So you're just
Yes.
like, oh, but that's like Buck's fault, I think. Like,
Yeah, she's just repeating what he said at home, and she's even said to her sister, like, "You're not supposed to swear."
there's a bit of irony to that. Like he's
Yeah,
sitting there defending her, and then like he's obviously been somewhat of a bad influence.
right. I kind of, yeah, that's the one part of that I don't really care for because, like, one, that teacher looks super awkward to me. Like the slick back,
Oh, you don't
like
like his
pony
hairdo?
hair. I don't know what he's got going on, but for that to, if that is their justification of why this principal is saying that she's a bad child, like that was not enough to be like, oh, she's
That
wild and unruly.
That's one of the more over the top parts that doesn't really work for me very much, when the guy pulls out the ruler and yells, "Blasphemer!" I was
Yes,
like,
that's what I
that's
mean.
I mean, it's like, that's so out of nowhere, like, is she at, like, a what kinda school is she at? Is it just that teacher is, like, I don't know,
Mm,
like, that was one of the few jokes that just doesn't really land for me very well. It's just like,
yeah,
"Okay."
no, I agree. Okay. So moving on with scenes, what would you say is the most awkward scene or part of this movie?
Interesting. Yeah, God, it was funny, I thought that I knew for sure what this was gonna be. We've already talked about this. I'll mention it now, but I think one scene in particular might even be a little more awkward. Um, Marcy coming over is like, it's so awkward. It's horribly awkward. And
Which one? Which time?
the the, the last time, specifically when she comes over to just throw a dance party,
Yes.
it's just like, what the
Yes.
heck? I mean, it's on purpose. Buck is acting uncomfortable the whole time, so it's like it makes sense. But that scene is just like, what in the world? But I wanted to also talk about, like, it's pretty bad when they go to the bowling alley and Pal, his the guy named Pal just starts,
Yes.
like, hitting on her,
Oh my
and he
gosh.
says some pretty, like, "Dude, you're, like, in your
He
30s,
looks so old.
and she's a teenager."
Yes.
I mean, maybe not,
15.
like, really, but, like, he mentions her being a college student, but I'm just
Yeah,
like,
but it's like,
"No," like,
that's so funny,
mm.
Jeff. I have the exact same too written there, and I didn't think you would put the bowling thing.
It's pretty rough. It's like,
It kind of like made me go along the same lines of my awkward scene in Whippet. I don't enjoy seeing a young girl in that vulnerable, drunken
yeah,
state. This
yeah,
is the same. Like, it makes me really uncomfortable watching this 15-year-old girl, supposedly 15 for the movie,
yeah.
being hit on like that. Like,
It's yeah.
oh my gosh. It's like, how can someone be so creepy and predatory?
I know, and it's like it hasn't aged well at
No,
all.
and I it bothers me too that Uncle Buck doesn't come to her aid
More quickly.
more quickly, and then when he does, he's just kinda like,
Yeah,
"Leave."
it's like he offers us a beer, he offers to take her for a ride, he offers,
Right?
like, it just keeps going, and you're just like, "Oh my gosh." I mean, thank goodness she's not at all interested. She's just
Yes.
uncomfortable. But yeah,
That's yeah,
that's pretty rough.
it is an uncomfortable scene for sure, and then the Marcy dancing, that's filmed really uncomfortable too.
K
They've got weird camera angles where she's, like, straddling his leg
Oh
and
my gosh. Yeah, he's like, "Is this Dirty Dancing? What is
and they've got
this?"
like this downward like camera on her face while she's like leaning
Oh,
back.
they do all these weird wide angle close-ups of her, like, and it's
Yeah,
very, like, they're really
they
going for.
really made it uncomfortable. Like
Mhm.
that's what they wanted, I guess. But
I was
man,
gonna ask, I was curious if either of us would do this. I didn't, and you didn't. The washing machine scene? What do we think of this
I
scene? I can't decide if it's funny anymore or not.
can't either. I had conflicting thoughts.
It's like, you could maybe argue that this is dark humor, but, like, I don't know, like, I mean, as a kid, it didn't fully register what this was, like,
I remember like mom and dad laughing at it though, and so it's
I mean,
like,
it's one of those things where it's like, we as the audience know what's
yeah,
happening,
it's
but there's a
funny.
character who has a huge misunderstanding
Yeah.
about what, so, but, like, I don't know,
Like, it is funny that you like, to hear him yelling and banging at this washing machine or dryer, whatever it is.
I
Dish
mean,
yeah, washing
should
machine.
we explain a little bit, like, to, I mean, people who haven't seen it, I mean,
Sure,
Marcy walks in and he's getting upset because he can't open a
a
dishwasher or
washing
a
machine.
washing machine. He can't get clothes in it, which becomes a running joke throughout the movie because
Mhm.
he finds weird ways to wash clothes. But, like, he's doing it in such a way, and Marcy just shows up and she can hear him in there getting upset. And to her ears, it sounds like he's assaulting.
Yes. The woman that lives
He
there.
thinks she thinks he's assaulting the mother,
Yes.
and I can't decide.
Yeah,
Like,
it doesn't hit me quite right anymore.
no.
But like I feel weird because I remember thinking it was funny and I do like understand why it's supposed to be funny, like you said, because the audience is in the know
Yeah.
that it's not actually this terrible thing.
Yeah.
You know that he's just doing something innocent completely and making all these funny, like
Yeah.
outrageous sayings at
Yeah.
an object. But yeah, but knowing that the other person really thinks this terrible thing is
Yeah.
happening
It's
and
it's
the
kind of rough.
lines he's saying are very much meant to have double meaning.
I can't decide if that humor
Yeah.
would fly nowadays, honestly. But
No, I don't think it would. But yeah, that was like a contender for
hmm
awkward scene just because it's doesn't quite hit well
yeah.
anymore.
Yeah.
um Speaking of that, what would you say is this movie's biggest pitfall?
So I already mentioned that Tia is borderline unredeemable.
Mhm.
That's one problem. Even I can admit that like she does some pretty awful things. But let's see. Two more things. Buck didn't really, in my opinion, have a good reason to just immediately not trust Bug. In my opinion, like I don't feel like there was any reason for him to just completely turn on him, other than he says that that was me when I was that age.
Yeah, I know. I've wondered that
I
as
mean, he ends
well.
up being right, obviously, but it's like,
Is it because he's older? Like, can he just tell, like, oh, that's an older boy? Like, she's only 15 and he's probably 18. Like, I don't know. Because you don't know
I
how old he
know, I
is.
know.
That's all I can assume is that
It,
he's old and
he
she's
sees
so
the age
young.
difference.
But I don't know.
That was my only thing. I was like, it felt like he figured it out magically almost.
Yeah.
But
I even told Kyle that, like, I don't know where the like hate for the boyfriend is right from the beginning because they show him and he seems like a fine guy, like they're cute together and
yeah,
there aren't really red flags until he's like kind of pushing her to
I
be
wonder if it's I
intimate.
wonder if it's one of those things where he just like he made a big assumption and
Happened to be right.
he was like actually kind of sad that he was right.
Yeah.
I wonder if it ended up being something like that. But
Yeah, I mean it's probably just the instinct to be protective. Like he's
yeah.
just been brought back into this girl's life and he's feeling protective of her.
So the only other thing I'll mention, and this is just kind of a silly thought that I had, when I was a kid, I was very confused by the scene where he catches Bug in the act of cheating on Tia, because when I was a kid, the girl that he is with looked enough like Tia that it didn't fully register that it
Mm,
wasn't her, which changed what I thought was happening a little bit. Like that girl looks a lot like same dark hair, curly hair. Like obviously the face is a little different, but like the complexion's the same.
yeah,
Like I'm like they could have made her look a little more distinct.
yeah, I
It's like
could see that.
it's a really it's kind of a nitpicky thing that just
I'm
confused me as a
still a
child.
little confused. I'm not sure if I understand that scene. I This is how I understand it, and maybe
Yeah.
I'm wrong. Is it that she is at that party with him and then she doesn't want to be intimate and so she ends up leaving and then he's with another girl after that? Or was she like, because she had to have been there, right? She was the one saying, no, please stop, in a super awkward, quiet voice.
I don't think they ever are showing Tia.
I think they are,
I think
because
they're trying to fake
this
us out.
super quiet voice of, please
I
stop, I don't want to
it
do
does
this.
purposely sound like her. I think they're trying to fake us
But
out.
why would she be walking down the street? She was
Well,
going to that party with him for the weekend or whatever it was.
there's two possibilities in my brain. Like one, she went there and kind of what you said, like at some point he kind of pushed the situation and she decided not to.
That's how
And he
I,
immediately latched onto another girl.
yeah.
And so she left and was upset. The other possibility is that she caught him in the act but I don't know for sure. They
Interesting.
actually kind of leave that ambiguous, frankly. Like you don't fully understand what
Yeah,
happened.
that is a little confusing. I still swear it's her in the first shots where she's saying, "Stop, I don't want to."
I don't
But then that does make it really weird that he's just, like, immediately sleeping with another girl.
I
The
I I
same.
I think I don't know. I've never interpreted that way. I always thought that they purposely made the voice sound like her to fake us out. And they also made the girl look like her to fake us out.
That girl didn't look, like, uncomfortable, did she? I don't know.
I thought she
Well,
Oh,
she was
that's a good
uncomfortable
point.
with someone barging in, but, like
I mean, maybe you're right. Maybe they're just like doing
I
some fancy timeline play where it's like they are showing moments where she was getting close to that moment of like going through with it, and then she backed out at
that's
the
how
last
I've always
second.
interpreted it, but I'm still like, "That's weird." It's kind of
I'm kind of
fuzzy.
I need to consult the internet on this at some point. I didn't even think about it that hard. I've always assumed that she never got that far with him, and that either she caught him in the act or
And
he immediately just abandoned her over it.
yeah, but I guess I assumed that as well because she, like, ran away with from home with a bag,
Yeah.
like, "I'm going away to spend the night with him
But she never
somewhere."
got like it's not like it was a multi-day thing. It was like
No.
he immediately
No.
picked up on that and was like, "No, no, 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 no. She's not spending the
Right.
night somewhere." But
Yeah.
yeah, that's
Anyway,
interesting that we don't fully agree
both
on what
are,
happened
yeah.
there. Something to look
Um
up, I guess.
And
Hmm.
I'll just briefly, because we've already talked about this, I would say the biggest pitfall is like, as with any comedy, not all of the comedy lands.
Okay.
Like we already brought up the school with that teacher calling her a blasphemer. Like that doesn't hit. There's just in a comedy, not every single joke is going to hit. It just doesn't. And I think with this movie in particular, it is older. And that
Sure.
goes back to
Sure.
the washing machine. Like maybe that was more funny back in its time. Like I don't know, but I do feel like when I watched it this week, it
It just
felt different.
it felt different. Yeah, that's fair.
Just being from an older time, some
Yeah.
of the humor and how it is delivered is a little different. And I can still appreciate some of it, but then other parts it's like, yeah, you can tell it's from an older time period. It's just different. I don't know
Yeah.
how else to explain it,
Oh,
but
yeah. Yeah.
and I don't know if it's fair to make that a pitfall either because it's like
Yeah.
you can't really judge it for being made when it was made, but
Mhm.
for watching it now.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Um, what is your favorite musical element from the film?
So, before I give my real answer, I do want to say I found this really interesting. I hadn't thought about this a ton. Um, so this isn't my pick. It's kind of like my second place pick, and I'll give my other pick because I think you might even know what the pick is. Um, the opening and closing song, the song "Rhythm of Life," and I can't remember who the artist is, but like something's really cool. I really like that as a starter and a beginner, a starting and a beginning song for the movie. I actually really like it. In a weird way, it's sort of like John Hughes movies. Like the soundtrack is always a very important element. He's very particular about the songs he chooses, and so this is kind of like this is the "Don't You Forget About Me" song for this movie, which is the Breakfast Club song that I'm
You're
thinking.
talking about the opening
The
music?
opening music,
That's not a score.
no.
Oh,
See,
see, I
that's the
didn't
thing.
know.
And this kind of brings up an interesting point, and we'll get into this a little more. And one of the things that's cool about that song being played at the very beginning of the movie, it's basically like the Universal logo. It starts playing, and then the first thing you see is Tia walking home from school, essentially, right? Like that's how it starts. Um, so there's this idea in film, and I'm sure you've heard about this, where like I mean, you've seen you. It's not even like a film. It's like an Instagram reel that I see all the time where someone's like, music matters for a scene. And then it's usually played for laughs. They'll play like some sappy love song on top of a scene that's not meant to have that.
Yeah.
And it's like music matters and it changes the feel of the
Mhm.
scene and makes it usually funny. But like, this is kind of the reverse of that, where The song actually feels different because of the image, the footage that it's being played on top of.
Hmm.
So, like, the song feels almost like a completely different song when it's played at the beginning on top of what it's playing with her walking home versus the end when it's played when it shows Tia standing there waiting for her mom. It's like the
Hmm.
song takes on a different life,
Yeah.
which is again, it's backwards to what the Instagram reels do. It's like change the under like the footage for the song and it changes the song.
Yeah.
A
That is
more
interesting.
a more extreme example of that is when like a really happy-go-lucky song is played in a horror movie during a horrific scene, right?
Yeah.
It's like that song suddenly gets ruined
Yep.
just by virtue of it was played in a horror movie. You know,
Mhm.
you think about that old.
Insidious.
Yeah, Insidious does it with that song with the high pitched. Yeah,
Tiptoe through the
that
window.
song will ever forever be changed because of the footage it was played on top of. And
Yeah.
then like you think about the Shining with that 20s song or whatever. Like that's a really pretty song, but
Yeah.
it's forever changed because of the.
Midnight.
Anyway, that happens in real
Yeah.
time in the movie for me, where it's like the song takes on a different life by virtue of it playing on the end and the beginning.
Yeah, that's a really interesting observation.
Like you almost don't even think of it as the same song,
Yeah.
but the all that said, the real answer is Wild Thing. The song Wild Thing that's played during the scene that you love so much in the
The
school.
school. Okay, see, I wouldn't
That
have known by name what the
it's
song
so yeah,
was.
the song's called Wild Thing, and it's got that iconic drum beat that literally was
Okay.
stuck in my head for years.
Yes.
Like it's so ingrained in me.
It
Like
was driving me nuts. Is that also in Ferris Bueller?
no, it's not.
No. I feel like it's in another
It's
movie.
in Bedazzled.
Yes.
Bedazzled
Okay.
when she
Because I'm
hits
like,
the
I
pool ball.
know that I've heard it before in a movie.
I was almost hesitant to even say it because I think it's been used a few times in movies, but like this is the movie I think of. And the thing that I love about John Hughes movies is he does such a good job of integrating music into his movies such that
Yeah.
it feels like the song was written for the movie.
Mhm.
In some cases they are, but Wild Thing I'm pretty sure was not written for this movie,
Yeah.
but it feels like it.
Yeah.
And like I think they probably had access to like the full tracks and they could kind of change it a little bit, but like the way that it breaks down when he's in the bathroom to like emphasize the moment that's kind of weird of him being in there and he's like, "Oh my gosh, I'm in a bathroom full of children" kind of thing,
Mhm.
like and it breaks down into the basic groove. Like he does such a good job with that in all of his movies of just like the score, the music choices, the soundtrack choices are just very ingrained in the movie.
Yeah.
I don't know if Rhythm of Life was written for this movie. It might have been. It was kind of a one-hit wonder for the artist, if I understand correctly, and it was written around the same time. But I don't know if it was explicitly for this movie. But it feels like it's for the movie.
Yeah, I thought it was a score.
Yeah, no, it's
Because
just a
I'm
song.
not, yeah, I'm not super familiar with the movie like you are, obviously, but I would have just assumed that was, I
But
even referred to it as the main theme of the movie because I
yeah,
thought that's what it was.
but it also has that same problem that the Breakfast Club has. So the famous song in Breakfast Club is the "Don't You Forget About Me" song.
Hmm.
There's like they use a slightly different version of the song in the movie versus what you can like play on Spotify or
Okay.
YouTube or whatever. Like it's slightly different.
Yeah.
Like I pointed out before we started this how
Mm.
there's way more echo in the movie
Yeah.
version than the like album version, I suppose. So like but anyway, my pick is Wild Thing. That drum beat's been stuck in my head my entire life. It's just like so yeah. Boom, 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 it's
Yeah.
iconic. I love it.
Yeah. I pointed out a couple things. One was what I thought was the main theme of the movie because like I think that's a really nice piece of music for the movie. Um and when it came on, it was something that I hadn't thought of or remembered in years, like since my childhood
But
probably.
it
And
like
as soon as
triggered.
it came on,
Yeah,
it was like, whoa,
there it
like it
is.
just took me back.
Mhm.
And I could not get it out of my head the whole night after watching the movie too.
I guess it's just like that keyboard part, right? I
Yeah,
mean,
just
it's
the
just.
beginning because I
Mhm.
didn't know it's an actual like lyrical song. I had no idea.
I wish I
So
could say that I like enjoy the song in its entirety. Like I listened to the actual song recently in preparation for this, and like it's fine. Like
yeah.
I like the music. I don't know that I love the singer and
Mm.
the lyrics necessarily. Like it's fine, but like it works really well in the context of the movie.
Yeah. But it's like got that lightheartedness
Yep.
opening, like this is
Yep.
gonna be a light, like family message, but it's not.
Yeah.
It's still inappropriate, but like you know what I mean. Like the messages it's teaching about the importance of family, like those
Yep.
undertones, like
Yep.
that is such a perfect little piece of music. And then I feel like I could be wrong, but I feel like they altered it for the end. It's the same melody and everything, but I thought it was like less echoey and upbeat and more like
It might be. It might
toned
be.
down to be
It it
thoughtful.
it might even be trimmed a little bit, like, and obviously
Yeah.
it kicks into the full song, and it ends with the credits, right? Like it's the ending credits song.
Yeah. And then just the other note I made about the music is basically what you said, which I wouldn't have known is like a John Hughes specific attribute, but I just love the use of the music in the movie
Yeah.
that it fits certain scenes to like it just adds to the
Yes.
scene so
Yes.
much. Like with the comedy I said with how comedic the elementary school scene with the song that you said is your favorite in the movie.
Mhm.
That song adds so much to making that funny. Like
Mhm.
that music as the background adds so much. And the other part where an example of where the music elevates the comedy um, is that little I don't know if it was composed or if it's a snippet of something of like a lyrical song, but when he's making giant pancakes, the music that's playing
Oh,
there,
yeah.
it's just like
Yeah.
this little blurb where it's like that
Ba-dum,
music is
ba-dum,
yeah,
bum,
bum bum
bum,
ba
ba-da.
da 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 da. That's making a big lift for that scene
I
as
I
well.
don't know 100%. That might be original for the movie. I don't
I
know
they
for
might
sure.
yeah, they I think they reused that a few times.
Yeah.
But I was just thinking as a simple example, like that scene was elevated just from that little piece of music.
Oh,
So
yeah.
yeah, music
Yeah.
is really well used. Moving on. Uh any unexpected crew or cast member that
So
was surprising?
so there's one thing like kind of this is sort of related but not exactly. One of the things that's really funny about this movie as far as the unexpected actors or crew or whatever, this movie for whatever reason has 3 actresses in it that all remind me of actual people have known in my
I know
life.
one.
You know one of
Yeah,
them. You know
because
one
you've
of
told
them.
me before.
One of our childhood friends, like the character of Maisie, that actress. She reminds me so much of her, and I know you disagree with me. Like,
Yep.
doesn't look anything like her. But as
Nope.
anyway, as a child, like anyway, that's one of them. The mother, oddly enough, reminds me of a girl I knew in high school.
Okay.
The girl I knew in high school is better looking than the mother, but like very similar look. And I've
Okay.
always thought that. And then oddly enough, there was a girl I knew in college who reminded me of Marcy.
Oh god.
But again,
Yeah, I know. Not
not
in the
like
personality.
not like that. Like she had a similar look to the point. So it's really weird to me that this movie has 3 actresses, and whenever I watch this movie, I
You
will
think of
always
those
think of
people.
those 3 people in my
I
life
did think
randomly.
of the one that because I remembered you telling me you thought she
Looked up
looked.
pictures of her as a child, and you're like,
No, I
don't see it at
didn't.
all.
I still don't see it.
I don't know why. She gives me that vibe. We will leave this person anonymous for now.
Yes.
But okay, for my real answer, unexpected career cast member. You ready for this?
hmm
The actress who played Tia. So
You're stealing mine, I think.
Jean Louisa Kelly.
Uh huh.
She was in Top Gun Maverick.
Oh, I did know that, but
I see. That's what I. This is what I was saying. We were talking about how I was gonna get into a movie that Kyle likes.
Okay.
That totally blew my mind. I looked into it, I was like, wait, she's in Top Gun
Yeah,
Maverick?
I knew that because I just like when I saw that, I immediately was like, wait, I know this woman somehow.
When
Like
you saw what?
Top Gun.
So you
I
recognized her in
recognized
Top
her
Gun.
in Top Gun, and I was like, wow, like she
Yeah.
has not been around, at least that I know
I mean, this is
of.
the biggest movie we've seen her in
Yeah,
years.
to be fair, I have not like looked at her filmography.
I only
but
know her from like one other movie, and then she was on a TV show. But like,
the TV show is mine,
yeah,
and that's not that interesting. But like, that's what always has come back to me as a surprise. Like, this is the same girl that is like the lead woman in this TV show that I watched with mom
yep,
growing up.
yep.
The show was called Yes Dear,
Mm-hmm.
and I always really liked it. But I thought she looks so different.
Yeah,
Her teenage years to her adult years,
well,
she's very different in appearance.
she's in another movie, which if I hadn't found out about Top Gun Maverick, I might have mentioned this as my pick. But she's in another movie I really like. She's in Mr. Holland's Opus.
Okay.
She plays the sort of like almost unfortunate love interest for Richard Dreyfuss, his character.
Mm-hmm.
But it's weird because her character is so different in that movie. Because in this movie she's so grumpy and bratty that like it's off-putting. But like in that movie, and maybe this is the case in Yes Dear, she's a lot more
energetic and
bubbly and
yeah.
happy. It's very different, and it
Yeah.
like changes her look, which I guess that goes to show she's doing a good job of acting.
Oh yeah.
This is also her first movie, but
Yeah, I saw that.
but when I saw the Top Gun Maverick thing, I was like, wait, what?
That is a good one.
So she played Iceman's wife, Val Kilmer's wife in the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
her
So
and
she
Tom
had
Cruise
that,
have a
like,
brief moment.
hug with Tom Cruise where she says how he's doing illness wise, and then a shot of her at the funeral. Maybe
that was the thing that blew my mind. I was
like she
like,
probably
oh.
jumped at that opportunity to be in that movie.
Also, the actress who played Maisie was in Sleepless in Seattle. She's like she's just the friend that randomly his son Jonah makes friends with.
Huh. I actually don't think I've watched Sleepless in Seattle
all
the way through.
That's
I just like know it
that
by
is like
pieces
that's
because
like
of people saying how iconic it is.
that's like one of the iconic rom-coms. You got to watch that movie.
And I feel like I've seen the iconic like Eiffel Tower ending. I don't know.
That's not even the best part of that movie. It's
I'm
fine.
sure. I'm sure. I'll have to watch
But
it.
you've probably seen the best part too, so it doesn't matter.
I was gonna say, aside from that Tia actress, Jean Louisa Kelly, I personally just didn't know that this was written and directed by John Hughes. But again, I'm not like a John Hughes.
You didn't know, huh?
Aficionado like you.
It's so funny you say that because I'm not really. I just there's a handful of movies that I really do like by him, but like I don't know everything.
That's fair.
He has a lot more writing credits.
But you've seen a lot more of his movies than me, and have a few on your list.
Yeah,
so
yeah, that's fair.
But like, yeah, I've heard the name John Hughes and like I've associated it with some of those. What are they?
Did you realize
80s?
that after you watched it, or like you didn't know when I brought this movie up?
No, yeah, I didn't know when you brought it up.
Okay.
I didn't know that he was tied to this movie at all until like we said we were going to do this movie, and I looked up the details, and I was like, whoa! Like I knew he was associated with Ferris Bueller and like Home Alone and some of those other teen, Pretty in Pink, things like that. But like, yeah, this was a very big surprise to me.
Yeah. So. But now that you know,
I know, you can't unsee it. Yeah, it makes perfect sense. Okay, so kind of extending this discussion, do you have a favorite piece of trivia about this movie that you found?
I'm sure you read this. I don't know if it's your pick, but like it really made me laugh. It said that in other countries, the alternate title for this movie in other countries, which I'm assuming it would have been in a different language, so like it made a little more sense, but the alternate title translates to Alone with Our Uncle.
Oh my gosh, I didn't read that.
I was just like, that
Alone with our
It's so
uncle.
funny because, like, you look at the poster and it really leans heavy into this idea that, like, Uncle Buck is kind of a scary person. Like, they're literally trying to jam the door shut so he can't get
Yeah,
in, and
like
he
we don't want him here.
but, like, that's not really what the movie is, but that
Mm-mm.
title made me laugh because it's just, like, it leans really heavily into that idea of, like, "Oh my gosh, we're so terrified of our uncle, and now we're alone with him." It's like a scary horror movie thriller or something, but, like, it made me laugh that "Alone with our uncle." It's like, wow.
Yeah,
Some of those alternate titles for countries, they can be pretty fascinating, but
that is funny. Um, I feel like my trivia is pretty lame because it's not necessarily Uncle Buck related. I'm kind of on the John Hughes train
uh-huh.
because when I was looking at that and saw that he was tied to this and I had no idea, that's when I was like looking at his filmography. I learned that he only directed 8 movies.
Yeah, he
That was very surprising
d
because
did you think it was gonna be higher?
I thought it would be higher because
Yeah.
like again I'm not like a in the know of his career, but I have heard of him so much in passing comments
He's
that I thought he had a lot more under his belt. And it's because he wrote
yes.
a lot.
He's a
So
very
I,
he's a very prolific writer.
yeah, so that was interesting to me to find out that there were only 8 movies and
Yep.
that the ones that I generally have thought of with him in mind are just because he wrote them. And not to say just,
Yeah,
like, that's
and
awesome, but
usually I think a lot of times he would be, like, producer as well or executive
yeah,
producer or something. So, yeah, for sure.
yeah. Okay, this is a fun one. What is a quote from this movie that you like or use most often in your
So,
daily life?
there's so many good quotes in this movie. 'Kay, I'll give you 2 that specifically are, like, ones I know I've used in real life. One of them is not really a quote, and this is gonna I'm sure you've seen this happen before. When Pal fir when Pal first shows up in front of Tia, he has a toothpick,
Mhm.
and one of the first things he does, he just stares at her and he, like, makes the toothpick wiggle.
Mhm.
I've been doing that for
Yeah.
a long time, and it's because
So
of
it's
that
not
part
a
in the movie.
quote, it's a
It's like an act that someone
mannerism
does.
that you picked up from
I found out that I could do that at a young age, so whenever I have a toothpick, I can, like, and it does it. But as far as an actual quote, it's pretty common for me if I'm at a bowling alley to, at some point, like, someone throws a gutter ball, I'll be like, "Hey, if the object of the game were to get the ball as close to the pins without
without
knocking
knocking
any
any
of
of
them
them over.
over, you would be champion of the world." Like, that quote, like, I've said that many a time in a bowling alley. So,
Nice.
but
That's awesome.
there are so many quotes in this movie. I wrote a bunch down, and
Yeah.
I'm gonna hold back. Like, watch the movie. There's some great quotes.
It has a lot of funny lines in it for sure.
Yeah.
And this not being one of my favorite movies,
Mhm.
I don't think I've ever maybe I don't think I've ever quoted it. Um so I just picked a couple that I like, which are kind of lame in the sense that it's like a snippet of something. I don't even know if I wrote it down right because my memory was terrible, but going back to the hatchet scene, I thought this is probably one of the most likely things that I would reuse if I haven't. I don't know. Um, when he's like showing the hatchet, right? And he just says, maybe later. Okay.
Okay.
Just the tone again with me. It's a lot of like tone. The way he says that is hilarious. When he's like, you don't want to see it?
You've never
Maybe
dropped
later. Okay.
you've never dropped something on the floor thinking it would break and then picked it up and been like, "Unbreakable."
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Stupid.
I I also I have fond memories of dad saying quoted doing the quote, "You should talk Buck.
Buck. Yes.
He's giving her crap for her
The
boyfriend's name,
boyfriend
and she's like, "You
being
should
named
talk
Bug.
Buck."
And then I also like, this one's kind of a smaller, silly one, more of a brief conversation between John Candy and Macaulay Culkin,
Yep.
where Macaulay Culkin is asking him a
Drilling
series
him.
of
Yep.
questions, just one after the other, one after the other. And he asks, like, how many questions do you plan on asking me? And he says 38. And then after like one of the random responses, I think about like nose hairs or something. Um,
Oh, does he say that about him? You've got a lot more hair in your nose than my dad.
yeah,
Is that what he
something like
says?
that. And he's like, thanks for noticing. And Macaulay Culkin says, I'm a kid. It's my job. That was good.
Are you married? No. Why? It's a long story.
Something else. It's an even longer story.
I have to mention this one when he's introducing himself to the principal. Buck melanoma,
Ugh.
Molly Russell's warts.
Oh my god.
It's so good.
The mole jokes.
Oh, there's a lot. I really do need to stop. I could quote
Yeah.
most of the movie.
Sorry, I let us on that one.
No, it's great.
Okay. On a scale of 1 to 10, how much do you think your spouse, Sarah, would say she likes this movie?
I'm gonna go right down the middle, Becca. I think that she would give this a 5. I think she's completely indifferent to this movie. I think she's just like, whatever.
All right. That's funny because Sarah gave it a 6.
Oh, so she's
Because
even a little on the positive side?
when I asked her, she said, well, if 5 is feeling indifferent, I would say it's slightly above that.
Okay. Okay.
So she said, quote, I don't think I'd ever choose to watch it, but it has its moments. And I told her, that's kind of how I feel about it.
Oh.
I like it. I would never choose to watch it, but it has its moments. I find a lot of it very funny and nostalgic, but I wouldn't put it on myself.
Okay. Okay, fair enough.
So
So a little more praise than I
a little
expected.
bit, yeah.
Okay. All right. All right. All right. What do you think? What did Kyle rate? How did Kyle rate this movie? He actually watched the
He
movie with
watched the movie. I
Yeah.
was so glad that he was willing to watch this old 80s, almost 90s movie because he does not like to watch old movies.
Yep.
And I don't think he liked it. So I'm gonna guess that he would give it a 3.
Okay. I'm gonna read you what he said.
Okay.
He said, "It was okay. John Candy was pretty good, funny at times. But he did say that there were a few things that he actively disliked,
Mm.
and he he went back to it's a solid pie movie, 3.14. But he did add this. He said maybe slightly above the skating movie.
Wow.
So just slightly more
Called it a
than Whip It.
skating movie.
So
Wow.
he's like
Wow.
slightly higher than what he
So
said
I
about
was pretty spot on with his ratings then, but also I
You're
don't know if
just
I'm surprised that he would like it slightly more than that or not. I guess just because I don't know. Whip It's more girly, maybe. I don't know. Interesting.
yeah, slightly higher,
Okay.
but mostly the same, I think is kind of his takeaway.
Yeah. I mean, I got him to stay awake for it and he laughed a few times, so
Do
um
you remember what he laughed at?
I don't.
Oh, okay, fine. We don't have to get into it.
I think he did laugh at the hatchets, so
Oh my
I could
gosh.
be wrong. He might get back at me and say no, but I want to say he laughed at that cuz who wouldn't laugh at that? All right, Jeff. We've made it to the final question,
Unscripted
the
questions.
unscripted question, and I told you again, I don't have a good question for you. I'm having a hard time with these, but I had a couple, but I'm not. I'll pick one
Okay.
again.
Okay. I'm ready. I'm ready.
You talked about how you adopted that toothpick wiggling from this movie. Wiggling.
Yeah, I don't know what else you call it. It's a very it's a thing.
My question was, did you also adopt the name Miles from this movie? Because you have named one of your children
N- uh,
Miles.
I was having a conversation last night actually with some friends about Miles and how I was like, I can't. So we were talking about names in particular and kind of just preferences around names. And I think my friend, he was saying how they were sort of anti-traditional names
Mm.
with their children, which is fine. Whereas me and Sarah, ours are like a little more traditional. But
Hmm.
he mentioned that Miles is not that traditional. And I said one of the things that I worry about a little bit is that people are going to think that I chose Miles because of Spider-Man.
Huh.
The Into the
Miles
Spider-Verse. Yeah.
Morales.
I thought people would think that that's where it came from. It really didn't. And frankly, it didn't come from anything. It did not come from this movie, that's for sure. If
Right.
it if it came from anywhere, it would have come from Terminator 2, the creator of Skynet, Miles Dyson. That's where it would have,
Wow, nerd.
but it didn't. It didn't come from anywhere. That was just it.
Oh,
I
that's
said it
funny.
one day and it felt right.
I just, yeah, it was one of those things where I'm like, I wouldn't have recalled that Macaulay Culkin's character was Miles,
Eh,
and then when I thought, oh, it's one of his favorite movies, and that's his
Yeah,
name.
I no, I did not think about Uncle Buck when I named my child, but but yeah, it's funny. Like it was actually more of a. I think after the fact, the first thing I thought it was probably that. Oh yeah, Spider-Man's kind of a big deal. Someone maybe even pointed it out, but then I was like, no, 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 Terminator 2. It came from
Hmm.
that. Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
no, that is not the case.
Easy enough.
But I totally get it. That wouldn't have been the it wouldn't have been too far off for some things, but no. Um, are you ready? I've got one for you.
All right, I'm ready.
Okay. So Becca, all the crazy things,
Oh no.
of all the crazy things that Buck did while he was like, tending the kids. If you were in the shoes of the mother and you found out about all the things that he did, all the crazy stuff that happened, which thing would you have been most upset by? What would have upset you the most? And if you need me to list some of the things that
I was gonna
happened,
say, I'm trying to think.
he let the dog drink out of the toilet, and apparently he drank some of the cleaner from the
Yeah, he
toilet.
drank the toilet cleaner
He washed all the clothes in the sink in the kitchen
and
and
microwaved them.
microwaved
Yep.
them dry.
Hmm.
He made like a makeshift crazy stove so he could cook a giant pancake.
Yep. With the shovel, the snow shovel.
He let a random cat into their house that he found on the street. He almost took her children to a horse race.
Yep.
He took
Hmm.
them to a kind of sketchy bowling alley where their daughter was hit on by an adult.
Right. Man, that's hard. What would make me the most upset?
He had a dance party with Marcy.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I wouldn't.
He let that woman who sells tires watch the children who they don't know very well.
Honestly,
And he let the kids sleep in the bed with him.
oh. Oh, I don't know.
He was very reluctant about that, by the way, but
Yeah, that's a hard
he
one.
broke one of her fancy plates.
Yeah. Wow. That's a hard thing to say. I kind of just with a gut quick answer want to say having his girlfriend watch the kids,
Yeah,
that would probably upset me knowing like the person I put in charge of my children just let a
yeah.
complete stranger watch them. And then the other one with the dog throwing up everywhere. Because then I
Oh,
would be like, did he clean it up properly? And
what about smoking cigars in the house?
oh well, yeah,
He definitely did that.
yeah. I mean, that would like trump everything because now their house is gonna stink for who knows how long,
That's pretty
and
bad.
their kids are exposed to it, and yeah,
Yeah, you going with the girlfriend watching the kids?
girlfriend watching the kids or the smoking, I guess. I guess I didn't think about the smoking, but
Yeah.
because the other things, it's like, okay, bringing a cat in the house, that's fine because they put the cat right back out. He didn't actually take him to the horse race. The pancake,
Eh,
as
it's
long as he didn't damage the kitchen, like,
I mean,
you
he
know,
did that too, but they were there for that.
that, yes. All the pots and pans falling at the
That
end.
that would be that's like, oh man, I'm gonna have to put
Yeah.
effort or money
To
into
be
that.
to be clear though, all of that would upset me, so it's hard to say.
Yeah, yeah.
But I want to say stranger watching my children for yeah.
This reminds me, I do love the part where he's having the conversation with the mother for the first time, and all the things he's saying are just making her more and more like regret her decision.
And how he's trying to play it cool, like.
Just the
So how many times do you feed a dog like that?
but no, 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 like even before that, when he first shows up at the house and he's just like, he has that great line where he's like, "Hey, I stopped smoking cigarettes.
Moved on to
I'm on to
cigars.
cigars now."
Yeah.
And then like out of nowhere, just to like make it even worse, he's just like, "By the way, do you have a plunger here?"
Right? Just like setting her up for like, oh
And
my gosh,
she's just like,
he's gonna destroy my
it's you can
house.
see the clock tick, like the gears
Yeah.
turning in her head, and she's just like, "Oh my
Uh-huh.
gosh, what have I done?" It's
All of the questions he asks the mother on that first meeting, the first night, and on the phone. Yep.
she's just like, "Oh my gosh, I hate my life right now."
Oh my gosh. Oh. Anyway,
Well, we did it.
we did it.
We did it.
Second episode.
It's in the bag.
We talked about Uncle Buck. Who would have thought?
I guess this is where we say thanks for listening, whoever's listening.
Yeah. Thanks if you braved our podcast and
Yeah.
our goofy conversations. But yeah, it was a fun one, and we will plan on talking about one of my favorites
Yeah.
next.
I'm
To be decided.
I'm I'm anxious to know what you end up picking.
Literally anxious because he's informed me he's not looking forward to watching some of them.
I've seen the list. I'm not like thrilled about some of them, but I will make. I'm sure you're in the same boat. We'll figure it out.
All right. Well, thanks, Jeff.
Thanks, Becca.
See you next time.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.